Hello and welcome to Working Title. You're listening to Soundart Radio 102.5 FM. If you want to contact us throughout the show, please go on to Facebook and put in Working Title, or onto Twitter, which is also Working Title 6 till 9. I'm here with James Cotter. He's my co-host. I'm Matthew Symons myself. All right, there, James. Got any words you want to say?
Yeah, we've got loads coming up on the show. We've got film reviews, game reviews, theatre news, and some original content. We've got a sitcom that I'm in, and we've got a few one-off little things we want to play as well. So quite a lot coming up. That was Rachel's song from Blade Runner. I really like that. It's really interesting. The water dripping effect at the end. It's
very good.
Which is all the stuff in Tyrell's Corporation when they do that stuff with the visual effects.
Yes.
It's really interesting. Anyway, so, Matt, we've got a few tweets coming, haven't we?
Yes, I think we're getting some more. My phone's going crazy. Yeah, you can hear that. I don't know if you can hear that out there.
Yeah, feedback coming through there.
But no, the main one who's been tweeting in is I Hate You Butler.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Was I speaking to him earlier? Tell him, was I speaking to him earlier? He needs to tweet back.
Yeah, he needs to tweet back.
We were talking about Dudley Moore films, I'm sure we were. He was a big fan of Bedazzled.
But anyway, he's listening in, so hopefully he's still listening now.
We've got one listener, yeah.
Hey. And he says, as far as the sagas go, I've decided that the Harry Potter is better than the 6 Star Wars films. I may be alone with this. I would have to disagree with him there, but I'm not a huge fan of both trilogies, but I would prefer Star Wars. Oh, brilliant. All my films come out yesterday. That's interesting. Is there any releases today?
No one wants to release anything today. Well, no, I did all this research yesterday because I didn't do any today.
It's quite strange. I thought film releases were usually Mondays.
We got loads on yesterday. Well, that was a Monday yesterday, wasn't it? Oh, no, it's Tuesday yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Good God, do I know where I am?
Probably not.
Okay. You got Blu-rays, haven't you?
I have got Blu-rays.
You're going to do it now?
I'm a Blu-ray person. I can do. Have you got the list there for me at all?
Where is the list?
I don't know.
You want to go to a song and then come back to Blu-rays?
Yes, probably. Anyway, while we're here, if we go into a review while we try and find our paperwork, because we have got quite a lot of it.
Go to a song and then we'll do Blu-rays, and then we'll go to a song, and then we'll go to a review.
Yes, good idea. Okay, well, the next song, in that case, if I can find my phone, I'll load up on here.
Unprepared, you see, he's unprofessional.
It's not my fault. You lost the paperwork. Don't blame me.
Don't have an argument. It's the first show, for God's sake. We've got 2.5 hours yet of this.
Oh, speaking of that, I Hate You Butler says
what did he say?
You were the one who was speaking to him.
Oh, it was him.
But that's what is the best. I really look like in the show, by the way. So we got someone who's liking it. So that's really good. Okay, let me just get this song lined up. I decide which one I'm going to do. What it's going to be, I know the one it's going to be.
I thought he was watching Dudley Moore films all day. Has he stopped doing that now? Just listen to this.
Possibly. Just wait for a reply for that one.
He's probably run out of Dudley Moore films. I mean, I know he watched 10 and he watched Arthur. And he's watched Bedazzled already, so I don't know how many more there were. He made a few sort of rubbishy American ones in the late 80s, early 90s, I know. What was that one he was in a psychiatric home? That was alright, actually. But go on, yeah, you talk now.
Okay.
I'm yabbing.
Yeah, filling the void while I try and find this song. I just got a message from my brother during that song. You may have heard it because he sent it through to my phone.
That's Dan, isn't it?
It is Dan, yes. And my phone, I think, beeped 3 times during that song.
I've not met him, but he's following me on Twitter.
Is he?
Have we met? I don't think we've met.
You haven't met? No, but he sent you a message about Blade Runner.
Oh, yes, I've got it here. I've got it here.
Oh,
We're just going to read it out. Oh, yeah, he's top of my list.
We can embarrass him then.
Yeah, I'm going to give his Twitter out as well so people can follow him. If they want. If he wants to. If he doesn't want that, tell me now.
Well, if he does tell me, I'm not going to pass on the message. Okay. But no, he said... I did it again. He said, I say too much on the radio, so...
well, you do a lot, but I a lot.
Everyone a lot, so, it's not my fault if I
What's that? Has that guy got back to us yet? The other guy, I hate someone,
Possibly, I will check
I'll go and find out his name. What's his name? I feel really bad saying I hate.
I hate...
I've got Paul I've got Paul or Peter. I've got P in my head.
Nice. Very nice.
I haven't been drinking, by the way. Not yet, anyway.
Only water.
Wait till 7.
Anyway, it's wow. Time's getting on. It's 6:30 already. Wow.
Not really. We got 2.5 hours. If you work it out,
true.
It hasn't gone on really.
But on to probably the main part of the first hour, which is our film reviews. The first one I'm going to do is going to be Transformers 1. It's going to be mainly about Transformers 3, but I thought I'd give a bit of insight on all 3 films, what I think, considering it's a trilogy. I've also got some good news, which is a rumour going around after I've reviewed the films, which not many of you may know, but if you do, then well done. Yeah. But anyway, moving on. Transformers 1, the first film that came out in 2000 and I believe it was 2007, I think.
I've not seen it.
No.
This is going to be fun reviewing. It's just me, you talking, me going, yeah, it's a good
It's a good film, yeah.
I saw Iron Man. We can talk about Iron Man, but you haven't got a review on that, have you?
We could do.
I've got a song on that later on.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, I'm going to keep interrupting you. I'll let you talk now, Matt.
And that was I Rise, You Fall from Transformers 2, the final song. If you've seen the film, it's one epic moment.
It is, yeah.
It's really good. That song has got a lot of passion in it. It's a very powerful tune. Really enjoy it when I've been listening to on loop for the past week, I would say.
It's great.
Put my phone over there, stop making interfering. But
I'm professional. I don't want to keep saying it, but...
Well, it's for Twitter, it's for our fans.
True.
Anyway,
Pete Butler.
Yeah, exactly. One fan.
Yeah. Can I go a quick shout out? Anyone from the Coffee House Players that are listening? They are a theatre group which I'm involved with. I'm in their play at the moment. We've got a play coming up in the 3rd week of August. Dates are going to be confirmed soon. So if anyone from the Coffee House Players are listening, well, good. I hope you're enjoying it. There'll be more of a plug later on, by the way, so stay tuned.
Yes. Okay, into our Transformers 2 review. Very good film again. Probably one of my favourite films. But the problem I have with that one is it doesn't link with the first one.
Oh, okay.
I'll explain. In the first one, Megatron is the leader of the Decepticons, yeah? He is always at the top.
You've lost me already.
Right,
You've lost me already.
I'll make it easier for you.
Okay.
You got good robots, you got bad robots,
Okay, that's
yeah?
better.
Megatron is the name of the bad robot who is the boss.
Yeah.
No one is above him, no one controls him.
Okay.
But in the second film, the Fallen, which is the name of a prime, is in control of Megatron. He's not in the comic series, he's not in the TV series, he was a made-up character, especially for this film.
They originally all were made-up characters,
Yes, but I mean...
Don't get too into it,
They've
Matt.
changed it away.
I know, I'm joking.
But that's why it doesn't seem to link, it doesn't seem to make much sense.
Okay.
Yeah. The storyline behind it kind of does link in the first one in the sense that they want to have energy to rebuild their planet. So that makes sense. But then it all changes again in the third film.
Okay.
So overall, very good second film again.
The second film came out in 2009, I'm guessing.
Yes,
It's
it
every
did.
2 years.
Yes,
I'm
every 2
listening.
years.
I am listening.
Good.
A little bit, anyway.
That leads us into the third one, the most recent one.
2011?
So, 2011, yep, came out a couple of weeks ago. Another incredible tune, and my phone's making more noises. When will it end? But yes, another incredible tune. I've got another tweet from...
Pete Butler.
Pete Butler, that's the one. You remember the name, you've written it down.
Yes, I have.
He said, I find all the Transformers music emotional, hence the lack of tweeting. I can't cry and type at the same time. I know what he means. The music is brilliant. A good soundtrack for me is something you can listen to without the film in the background. It's something where you can picture what's going on easily.
Yeah.
If a soundtrack can't do that, then it's not worth listening to. That's how I find a good
That's how you
soundtrack.
sum it up.
But on to the third film. Overall, very good film. I've seen it twice now in cinema, 3 days after each other. The first time I went to see it, it dragged on a little bit. I would say it's 30 minutes too long, and the problem with the film is they've got action, storyline. Every 10 minutes it keeps changing. So towards the end of the film, it was big build-up of action, and then suddenly, storyline. So you're there, like, at the edge of your seat, it's like, yes, oh, like that. It just, it feels gutting. It's weird why they did that. But the second time, because obviously when you've seen it already, it seems quicker. So the second time round, it doesn't seem so bad. It goes quicker, and therefore the film was more enjoyable for me. It was really good. I still love the film, one of my all-time favourites. The problem, again, is I think the reason it was too long was because they had so much explaining to do in terms of the story. It didn't lead on from the first or the second. We had another prime.
The second didn't lead on from the first. The third didn't lead on from the second.
Exactly, because in the end, the third one is about using humans as slaves to rebuild their planet. So if that's the case, then in the second film, why do they want to try and blow up the sun that keeps our planet alive?
Okay.
In the third film, was always the plan for Megatron when he went to Earth to use us as slaves. And that's when he gets awakened in the first one. He's already on the planet. So why is the second film there? What's the point in destroying our sun if we need our planet in the third film? There's no connection. That's the problem. That's the thing that did it for me that made it a bit annoying. There's no actual connection with the films. It just makes the second film completely pointless. The first and the third go together quite nicely. That works.
Okay.
But the second one seems out of place.
Yeah.
But again, with the third one, I don't think it comes off of the TV series or the comics. Again, it's a made-up story, made-up characters. I think it's only the first one that seems to be
true to
the original. But I don't mind that. I think when it comes to film being modernised, I don't mind it being apart from the comics or TV series because you've seen it all before.
Yeah,
if you watched it, why do you want to watch it again in live action? Some people do, it's pretty cool, but I don't mind it being different.
Yeah.
So that's why I really enjoyed the films. I said earlier I was going to say a little bit of news about the Transformers series.
Yeah.
It is rumoured that there's going to be a new trilogy.
Ooh.
And Steven Spielberg will be the producer and director of it as Michael Bay. I believe it's Michael Bay. Is it Michael Bay?
I don't know.
I think it's Michael Bay. Michael Bay is stepping down. There also was rumours of there being a reboot, but apparently this isn't true. It's been turned down, saying there is still a lot of storyline to do, and they're going to make a second trilogy. So that could be good. And apparently it's going to be about the Unicron, which is a giant planet that eats other planets.
Oh God!
So it's going to get ridiculous, but it sounds really good. I'm quite excited. Hopefully in 2 years' time there'll be another Transformers film, because it is a brilliant series, and I wouldn't like to see it end.
Yeah.
Or be rebooted in that matter. I don't see the point. Continue what you got. It's really good. People love it.
True.
On that note, we're going to pass it on to you, and you're going to review your film that I am going to...
Yeah, we're going to play a song from it, and then we're going to review it. But before we do that,
Yes.
I want to say, give out the film quiz again, because
Yes.
it's been a while since we did that.
Definitely.
We did get a response from Pete, didn't we?
We did.
And he what did he say? It was something?
Let's have a look for you. He said, is it Adventures of Hat-Man?
No, it's not. I've never heard of that film. Is it? Isn't that an actual film? Or has he just made that up? No offence, Pete. We do like you. Keep with us. Okay, so the film quiz is guess the tagline, basically, of a film. We're going to do one every week. And this week's one is "The Man in the Hat is Back." The Man in the Hat is Back.
So hopefully we can get somebody with the right answer.
Guess the film and guess the year of the film.
On that note, seems we've got Twitter and our quiz on the mention line. We've just got a new tweet coming from him saying, "Do you guys record your show? You should pop an edit up as a podcast." Good news, we are recording the show, and
Yes.
we will have an edit up.
We
as
do.
a
We
podcast.
plan to do that.
So anyone can listen to it at any time in the future, because obviously we don't know how many people listen.
It's obviously worth keeping. you know.
Exactly.
They'll store it underground in case there's a nuclear attack, and then people just play it on loop.
Yeah, we should put it in a time capsule. 50 years from now, this is the most important thing they should listen to.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
And the films we talk about. And
The films maybe, but maybe not the conversation. So, I'm going to play a song from Blade Runner, because we've been building up to it. It's a real build-up.
We've had two songs already, so we should actually get to the subject.
Play a song from Blade Runner, and then I'm going to do a very detailed review. We've got loads of opinions from people from Twitter, and me and Matt are going to discuss it, because I'm not sure you're a fan, are you?
I am not, and I'll explain why.
And I'm a massive fan, and you're not, so this is going to be interesting.
I've figured out the reason, which is good.
We might have an argument. So the song is Blade Runner Blues, and it's 9 minutes, which is very nice, because that means I get to rest and listen and enjoy this song, because it's a very enjoyable song. And what are you laughing for?
Just the way you looked is quite funny.
I did, I relaxed, I was ready to go, okay. So it's Blade Runner Blues, and then the Blade Runner review will be coming up straight after. That was Blade Runner Blues from the movie Blade Runner, which I'm going to review right now. I love that song, it's very relaxing. All the Blade Runner, it's eerie, but also relaxing at the same time. We're still getting tweets coming in, aren't we? Mainly from Pete Butler.
Yes.
Please, anyone out with Pete? No, I like Pete. I do a lot. Yes, Blade Runner. So, now I saw Blade Runner years and years ago when I was about 14, 15. What are you doing?
I think I'm breaking the microphone.
He's deliberately trying to sabotage my review here, because I keep interrupting him. Yes, I saw Blade Runner when I was about 14, 15. I was doing media studies at school, and I had to do an essay on the scene in Tyrell's office. I think it was about the lighting or whatever, I don't know. I watched the same scene about 80 times, because we have to, and review it. And I actually, honestly, because sometimes we do that, you think, oh God, I'm fed up, I never want to see this movie again. And it actually made me like it more.
Yeah, but I was like that.
It was
after watching
layered.
it. I watched it once, and I was like, I don't want to watch this ever again.
What? It's the opposite effect on me. The more I watch, the more I want to watch it again.
I have that on things I like Lost or Transformers, but Blade Runner, I watched it a long time ago. But
it's very rare. It's very rare that I will watch a film over and over again. There's only about 3 or 4 films I watched over and over again. Most films I watch once, that's it. And this is one of those films I've seen many, many times. And recently I actually saw it on, I think it was Thursday or Friday on BT2. They repeated it. It was the director's cut, 2007 director's cut. Much longer, much better. They've improved it a hell of a lot. And, it's such a good film. It reminded me how good it was. And, I just love it, I'm doing lots of umming like you now, aren't I? Under pressure.
It's really difficult, isn't it?
It is difficult. I've got loads of opinions, but, yeah. No, I do. I'd love the film, and like I said, I've seen different versions. I've seen the original version, I've seen the director's cut, and there's a director's cut in the 90s, I think 92, and this was the final cut, because they keep doing different cuts for some reason. But the final cut is the best. I've had a lot of support for the film, and there was a lot of tweeting going on at the time. It was trending at the time when the film was being repeated. There was a really, really interesting documentary after, which was an hour and a half, called Dangerous Days, which was the working title, which is our show's title. The working title for the film for a long time. And, it just looks so impressive. It's just visually, it's just its own thing. There was nothing like it before. It's a certain thing. It's a certain feel, and if you don't like that, I can understand why you don't like that. But it is very influential on a lot of films, a hell of a lot of films. And the thing is, every time I see it now, do you watch Red Dwarf, the comedy Red Dwarf?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, every time I watch it now, I keep thinking of Red Dwarf, because Red Dwarf did a special recently. You know of Red Dwarf?
Yes.
They did a series in the 80s and 90s, and then they stopped in 98, 99, I think. And then came back recently on Dave, the TV channel, and did Back to Earth special, which was a 3-part special, which they did on the DVD, a director's cut, which is an hour and a half. And basically, it's sort of not spoofing, but homaging Blade Runner. So a lot of the plot points are Blade Runner-esque. And every time I see it now, I think of Red Dwarf. But that's a good thing, because Red Dwarf is one of my favourite comedies. Going to read a few opinions out. Okay, your brother actually was one of the first people to come and support, because we'll talk about your views on it in a minute, because I know you're not a particular fan on it. But your brother says Blade Runner's a great film, and he was sorry to you because he disagrees with you completely. I like him.
I'll get him back from that.
No, I like him. He's good. I've got a person called Richard Adam Booth at Mighty Booth on Twitter, who said Blade Runner is my favourite film. Influenced a lot of other stuff that I love, including Battlestar Galactica, and it's the benchmark directors have since, and depicting the future. Either they want to emulate Blade Runner or get away from it. Either way, it's informed by it, which is true. You got to admit that.
Yes, I can admit that.
There you go. I've made him admit it. We've got John Tompkins at John Tompkin.
Come on, we've done work with him before.
I know, and we've been on his radio show.
Exactly.
Well.
He'll never let us back on.
Riviera FM, very good station. Not as good as this one. This is Soundart. This is better. But
this is us.
Yeah, and he's on a different day, so he's not clashing with us. But he says it's a film that influenced so many, including a certain Mr. Lucas. One of the masterpieces of cinema that is still to this day amazes in its special effects. The grim sci-fi doesn't matter, and it was anti-Star Wars and gave a unique look of science fiction. Harrison Ford famously hated it for a while, but has grown to love it. Plus, with its final cut, it can take on the best of sci-fi movies today. I have to agree with him there. It stands up. It was 1982 it was originally made, and it still stands up. And that's because of Ridley Scott's direction, because he took so long making the film and went vastly over budget. And they actually didn't make that much. I think it was 27 million they spent, and they only got box office of 32. So they made profit, obviously. Oh no, I got the figures here. 28 million was the budget, and $28 million, and 32 was the gross revenue. So it's not an awful lot for a big film. It's more of a cult film, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
But yes, let's get your opinions on it, Matt, because let's bring you into the... Okay. We've had lots of support here. Let's bring you into this.
Okay, well, to start off with Ridley Scott, I'm not a great fan of his work. I don't find many of his films good.
Do you like Alien?
Alien, I was just about to say that. Alien's probably the only film that he makes that I actually like.
Okay.
I did enjoy Alien. But some people didn't like Alien at all. They thought it was pretty bad.
No, I know, yeah.
But I'm the opposite. It's really weird.
There's a few people
that way.
who like Alien don't like Blade Runner.
Yeah.
People who like Blade Runner don't like Aliens. It's weird.
But in terms of Blade Runner, it's been a long time since I've seen it, so my opinion may be different if I watch it now, because obviously I'm more in the industry myself.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I just refuse to watch it again.
What is it? Is it the visual? Is it the acting? Is it the story? What is it? What is it?
I think it is the visual.
Because you're a sci-fi fan, aren't you?
I am a sci-fi fan.
So
yeah,
this is
visual
why
effects, yeah.
And you like film noir?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're doing a film noir project, aren't you?
I am working in a film noir
exactly.
project,
So I
yes.
thought, well, he likes film noir, he likes sci-fi. Surely he liked this movie, but...
Well, that's it. That's the bit that confused me.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's such a big hater for me, is because it's in the area that I enjoy. But what it is, I think, is because when...
Because you know you can't better that. Ridley's got you.
Don't test me.
Oh. We're going to have a fight.
I can
We're going to have a fight.
Yeah, like the other night.
Well, right. Yeah. That's for a sketch, by the way. We're not actually trying.
But no, what it is with the film, I think, is the way it looks, because it's based in the future, right? Because obviously it's a sci-fi.
Yeah.
I think the way they made it look is a pretty grim and horrible future.
Which is what the future will be, probably.
Yes, but I don't think it will be. Because it doesn't look like the future, it looks more like the past, and I think that's what annoyed me, that's what I don't like about it.
It looks like the past.
It does. The way it apart from all the sort of the flashy lights and the flying cars and stuff like that, it just looks so like gloomy and horrible. It looks like it's a film that is back in the past, not in the future. It doesn't look like a futuristic film to me. That's why I don't like it. It doesn't. It's not the bright future that we're going to get. It's kind of the horrible. I know it's the idea of the film.
No, it's honestly, it's a more realistic take on the future.
Well, I hope that's not the future.
It will be, because it'll be overpopulation, and you're going to have streets going to be busy and all that. And it's exactly what it will look like. Honestly, that will be. And it's 2019. It was set in the future.
Yeah,
Measure was made in 1982.
Only 8 years away.
Yeah,
that's not great.
Maybe. Okay, I agree that it's probably not going to be that dense in 8 years' time, but I can see that in about 30.
Because I know there is an article on, dare I say it, Wikipedia, that goes through every single year. All the way up to, I don't know, the year 5000 or something crazy, and actually says what is relevant on these years. And with films that say that are based in certain time periods, like 2019, or the Halo franchise 20-something or other, really far in advance, they actually have that written down on the actual year in Wikipedia to see if it's going to be anything like that. The technology that's used in these films, is it going to be anything like that in the real life? So they're kind of comparing it to films that are based in these time periods. So,
flying cars.
Yeah, so you never know. Flying cars, 8 years' time, pushing it a bit, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a documentary, for God's sake. But
that's what they do. You know, they see, how does it compare against the visions of people? Cause
I think it's a lovely difference between something like Star Wars, which is not. I'm not going to go to Star Wars, but it's meant to be. It's showing something different, and it's a different take on the future.
Yeah.
So I think it should be applauded for that, rather than slagged off by the likes of you.
I think maybe I should watch it again and then.
No, you should honestly.
Come back with a review next week.
Watch the final cut, 2007 final cut, and then get back to me on that.
Okay.
Next week. Right. Do you want to play a song from it?
Maybe.
And then we're going to go on to your film, Harry Potter. You're going to talk about Harry Potter?
Yes, I go into Harry Potter.
And play a song from that. And then we're going to move on to gaming and theatre news.
Yes.
So, I'm going to play the last song from the Blade Runner soundtrack, which is called Tales of the Future. That was Tales of the Future from Blade Runner soundtrack. The last of the Blade Runner songs for today. And, we enjoyed. I think we enjoyed a little discussion. And, it's a good film. And we're going to... I can't remember what I'm going to review next week. No idea.
Don't ask me.
No idea. But
I don't know.
Yes, I know. I've got a few films I'm going to be reviewing later on in the run.
I think I'm reviewing 2 films next week. I think it's going to be Captain America and is it Bad Bosses or something like that? Something to do with
okay. Yeah, no, I've heard that.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing it late in the week. So yes, 2 films I think I'm going to review next week. So
we're going to move on to your last film review, which is going to be Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Yeah.
Before we move
last full film review and got little bits of other films that I've seen.
And then little bits, and then we'll move on to the gaming and theatre section of the show.
Definitely. Okay, so what we got? Harry Potter. There's been 8 films, I believe. Yes.
I think so. I don't know. I've not seen them all. I told you I watched one, and it was like the 4th, and I didn't even remember it.
Oh yeah, you did.
I went with a friend. Yeah. I went with a friend, and we were in the cinema, and he just read all the books, and he was just ruining it for everyone. And we just ended up mucking about, really.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to tweet every 5 minutes what's going on in the film, just to...
A couple of friends of mine on Twitter have done that. There's a guy called Christopher Thompson who did that with all the Harry Potters. He tweeted all the way through it, so quite amusing actually as well. So.
Oh yeah, apart from the fans, they probably don't find it so amusing.
No.
But the rest of us do.
Yeah.
But no, with the films, I think they get better as they go along. I would say the first one is good, but it's very.
I was talking to someone about the first one the other day, and they said it's absolutely rubbish.
Well, compared to the newest one, yeah, it's not as good.
No,
it's very kids. It's kind of a kids' film. It's a family film.
It is a kids' book, Matt.
Yes, but that's what I mean. It does change as it goes along. It gets more adult-based, more dark, and more evil.
Well, because they grow up.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Exactly.
But that's what I mean. That's why I think it kind of leaves the first films behind. If they ever did reboot it for some strange reason, if they ever wanted to bring...
I can't see that.
Well, you never know. 30 years time, they may kind of remake it. I think they should make them consistent. Yeah. Consistent level. Not sort of have it all kid and hey, and then bring it up to all dark evil, everybody's dying sort of thing. But that's
evolution in life, isn't it? It's
yeah, true.
People have enjoyed... I know I've spoken to a few people about this, and they've enjoyed sort of growing up with them. People our age who were young when they were young. And
That is true.
so there's an added element of that, which is a little bit interesting compared to other films. But
That's
I don't.
true.
Yeah, I understand both points of view.
But, so as I said, they get better as they go along, apart from The Deathly Hallows Part 1. That is an awful film. Didn't enjoy it. It's very, very boring. Not a lot happens. It's got a few interesting bits, but the best way to sum the film up is they're running around in a forest, looking for stuff they don't know what to
Looking
find.
for stuff.
That is...
Any stuff in particular? Stones or...
It's the, if I say this right, the Horcruxes, I think. It's what you need to do to kill
Thanks
Voldemort.
for clearing that up.
Yeah. It's basically little parts, little bits of jewellery, all sorts of random rubbish to kill Voldemort. And basically they're looking for them, but they don't know where to find them. They're running around in the forest, kind of arguing with each other. And that is the film. 2 hours, 20 minutes of that.
Jesus.
That's why it's annoying. When I watched that, I thought, yes, okay, it's setting the the groundwork for the rest of the story,
Yeah.
but you could have just made it one story. You didn't need any of that. I know they're trying to keep faithful to the books, but I don't know. I just thought it's pointless, especially having 6 months apart from releasing them. You know, I found it a disappointment.
Did you want that back to back, or do you want longer?
I watched it back to back when I saw part 2. But I would have preferred it back to back from the beginning. I wouldn't have if I never actually watched part 1 in the cinema. I missed it. But I don't regret it after I did see it. I rented it. I even regretted renting it. It cost me £3. I even regretted doing that. But when it came out in cinema, the second part, I thought, okay, I'll watch it back to back because I haven't seen the first one in a while. And considering it's the same part of the story, it might make sense to watch it both together. And that way, I also see the very first showing of Harry Potter Part 2 in the country.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm a cool kid. But and also, because it leads into it. Then the story leads into it. It wasn't so bad. It was 5 hours, 10 minutes in the cinema, so it's a very, very long time. The first part is still pretty boring, and I almost fell asleep, to be honest. But the second part was much better. However, I would have done things differently personally myself. There's a few bits there I would have changed. For example, the overall fight between Harry Potter and Voldemort, you know it's coming. It only lasts about 20 seconds.
Really?
Yes, I thought it would last a bit more epic. They do a lot of running around and talking, but the actual final showdown is about 20 seconds.
Now, look, because I haven't seen the films. But
You're not missing much.
Well, I don't know, because that's the thing, though. The whole franchise.
The whole franchise.
Because I was tempted to get a DVD box set one day. Not now, but
No,
when it goes
out.
down cheaper in price.
Yeah, when it all comes out anyway.
And just thought, watch them. And would you recommend doing that or not?
I would. The series is good. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad.
Okay.
Definitely worth watching.
Is it worth watching with a year or two gap, or is it one of those things you could watch in a couple of months?
Yeah, you could watch it in a couple of months. If you watch say one a month, it's good.
It wouldn't be.
Yeah, you could even watch them all over a weekend if you want to get it over and done with. The first one, all of them are good, apart from Deathly Hallows Part 1. That's the only boring one, I would say.
Okay.
Even if you haven't seen any of them at all, or only bits of one, then watching the very first film, although it's not as good as the rest, it's still a good film. It's got a lot of good storyline in there.
Yeah.
And so...
There's some great actors in it. I mean, I know a lot of the actors. I don't know them personally.
No.
I'm a lovely darling. No, there's a great load of actors in there that I'm big fans of.
So that's what I would say. There's a few bits in there that are annoying. One bit that I've been dying to say, I don't know how many of you are actually seen a trailer to Part 2, but in the trailer to the film, Voldemort tends to say the same scripted word over and over again. He does it 5 times in the trailer. I'm pretty sure... I want to see his script. I just want to see what his words are for the film. But what he does is he kind of shouts, but he kind of says a word as he shouts. It's kind of like, yeah, like that. And so we thought, okay, this is 5 times in the trailer. So how many times does he do it in the film?
None.
Me and my friend brought along a little, a counter-tape thing.
So sad.
We sat there in the cinema. He did it once in the first film, the first part. We thought, brilliant, okay. So how many times the second part? Not once. This was horrible. We came to the bits that were shown in the trailer of him doing it, and I was like, getting really excited. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. He didn't do it. I was so tempted to throw my 3D glasses at the screen.
You are so sad.
I know, but that was probably the main reason why I wanted to watch the film the day it came out.
Honestly,
was it? I think that was the motivation. That was the motivation to watching it. But it was pretty gutting. It just doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. That's kind of put the film from a 8-star rating down to a 7-star rating.
Yeah, that's a very disappointing.
But I don't know why they removed it, but a lot of people have taken the piss out of it. If you go onto YouTube and put Voldemort Yeah, you'll see a comprised trailer
How
of
do you spell
all five.
that? How do you spell? Yeah.
It's Nyeah.
You actually knew. I thought I caught you out then. You actually knew.
Yes, I actually know.
Oh, God.
I guessed it to start with, and then when we typed it in YouTube, it seems everybody else has also picked up on this and spelled it the same way. So
Interesting.
when I do get it on Blu-ray, I'm going to turn subtitles on and see how the filmmakers spell it. To see if it's also the same.
Oh, God.
It's going to be pretty decent, so you never know, I might be talking about that in a few months' time on the radio.
Can't wait. I'm looking forward to that, man. I really am.
So there it was, that was Harry Potter. Got a few more tweets in here from our...
Pete Butler.
Yeah.
You guessed it.
He's still here. Okay, he says, darkness in the films progresses every 2 films. I would agree to that. Yeah, definitely.
Spot on, Pete.
He says, he's also corrected me with the Voldemort...
what it was called.
Whatever it was called, Horcrux. I think I said that, or said something very similar. If I'd said it wrong, then I do apologise. Harry Potter fans, my deepest apologies. He also recommends watching One a Day.
Oh, that's what, for me, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so if you do want to watch it, then One a Day. Yeah,
One a day.
I would agree
Take
to that.
one a day.
He also says, in the new film, there's a funny moment where it seems Voldemort is performing stand-up. I think I remember that bit.
You think you remember that?
I do. I remember laughing at that a certain part in the film. I think it's towards the end, where he does seem quite strange. And he also says he rips it out of Neville Longbottom, which again is very true. That is hilarious. I laughed at that.
Pete knows his stuff.
He does know his stuff. Very good.
Should be on this show.
Yeah, he's good. Good to be here.
Pete will be here next week. We're not paying the travel though, Pete. I don't know where you're coming from, but you have a long way to come.
Yes.
Right, so I do the film quiz again before we move on to the gaming and theatre section.
Okay.
The film quiz, for those who weren't listening earlier, we do a tagline for a famous film. And the tagline is, "The man in the hat is back. The man in the hat is back."
So far, we haven't got anybody sending.
We've had a few responses, but they've been wrong.
Yes.
And I said to Matt actually didn't know it. I told him now.
I think I've forgotten. No, I do remember. Yeah.
I told him, and he actually didn't know. I thought it was really obvious.
Yeah, but
it is quite obvious. If you listen to what we've been talking about.
In all fairness, I haven't seen the Indiana Jones films.
Have you just said what I just thought you just said?
Yeah,
have you just given away the answer? You prat. You're an idiot, aren't you? Why have you just said that out? You've just ruined the film quiz.
I'm pretty sure no one was listening to what I just said.
Okay, Matt, you've just ruined my quiz.
Either way, I haven't watched them.
Okay. Well, that's something to do with what we're on about, obviously. Well, yeah, there's been a few of them. So you still have to guess the actual film and the year as well. I want the year.
I'm going to shoot myself.
Yeah, you're an idiot. Go on to games.
Oh, dear.
I'm glad we're not actually giving away cash prizes or something now, because you just ruined that. Ruined a scandal like ITV or something, you know. Let's not get into that. Let's not bring Soundart down, okay? It's our first time on the show. It's not, you know.
I do apologise.
Go on, games.
And the talking rubbish, obviously. But if you play it on Legendary, which for you, James, is the hardest difficulty.
Are you telling I'm legendary?
No.
Okay. And what am I, intermediate?
You're normal.
No, I'm normal.
Normal.
Thank you for
You're normal
clarifying
difficulty. But yeah, if you play it on the hardest difficulty, you get an extra cutscene at the very end of the game, which indicates Master Chief is still alive. Mm-hmm. So I can spoil this now for you, because Halo 3 came out in 2007, I think.
Check your dates before you do shows, Matt, please.
I really should, shouldn't I?
I'm on it with the dates, you see. I'm a dates man.
You are
not.
That was Never Forget from Halo, and that is it from me on the games front. Now we're going to go over to James. My phone's making more noises.
It's probably Pete Butler.
It is. He's sending more through.
Pete.
Do you want to say what he's...
oh, yes, Pete. So what's he said? He said 2 films, isn't he? He said Indiana Jones, the 1981 one.
Yep.
And he said the 80... What did he say?
89 one.
89 one. I didn't
Last Crusade.
Last Crusade. And he's wrong on both counts.
Wrong on them both.
Is he failed? Is he forfeit?
Yes, well I said, because there's 4 films out, if you mention more than 2,
there are
forfeit.
4, aren't there?
Yes, because there was 3 originally.
81, something, 89, 2010. I might as well say it now, haven't I? Should I give it away now? Or should we wait till the end?
Let's wait to the end, why not? A bit of fun, even though...
Well, I just basically said what it was.
Yeah, true, but... you know, we've messed it up about 3 or 4 times already, so... We might as well keep stringing it along.
You say we, you messed it up more times than me.
Well, you did it. Yeah, well, true, you still did it.
Oh, shut up.
But no, as I said, if you mention it more than twice, then you forfeit the competition, even though I think he's the only one entering.
Yeah.
So we may have no winners this week. It's a rollover.
I keep the prize, which was I hadn't decided yet. So anyway, theatre. Let's move on to theatre. So, yes, theatre. I've got a bit of an association with theatre. I'm going to mention it. You know I'm going to mention.
Oh, yes.
Here it comes. Evita. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I've been getting into theatre. I'm an actor. Matt's an actor as well. We both do a bit of background now. We both do acting.
Background, yeah.
You direct. I direct.
I write. You write. I act. You act.
We're the same people.
No,
we're not. Yeah, and we do all sorts of that stuff. But I've been doing a lot of acting in the last couple of years. In the last year, I've got into theatre acting, which I just absolutely love. I've done loads of shows. I played the Princess Theatre in Torquay. I played Bristol Hippodrome, Bath Theatre Royal, Exeter Northcote, Sidmouth Manor Pavilion, and many more. But no, it's been fantastic. It's really been fantastic. And I got into musicals. The last couple of shows I've done have been musicals. I did Cabaret at Sidmouth Manor Pavilion about a month and a bit ago, which I'm going to play a song from later on, Vilcom, which is the opening song. And I did Evita, which I often talk about to people because it was such a fabulous experience. I did the European tour for Bill Kenwright at the Bristol Hippodrome, bit of ensemble work, and also 2 weeks at the Bath Theatre Royal, a lot of travelling there. And did Jesus Christ Superstar with the Exeter Musical Society in April. So I actually love musicals and shows, and we've got 2 songs from shows coming up, and that's my sort of association with theatre. And I also go to see a lot of theatre. I love comedy especially, and on the 10th of July, Sunday, I went to see John Shuttleworth, which is Graham Fellows, as an actor called Graham Fellows who plays a character called John Shuttleworth. Have you ever heard of him?
I haven't, no.
No. It does a lot of shows on BBC Radio 4 called the Shuttleworths, and he plays all the characters, and he plays his wife, he plays his next door neighbour who's his agent, sole agent, Ken Worthington, and he plays his wife's friends, and it's very funny, and I went to see him at the Northcote, and great show. A Man With No Roles, it's called, and he was playing at the Froome Festival as well. I think he's just finished his tour now, and I met him afterwards at the stage door, and a lovely man. He was telling me about his TV appearances he did recently, and because he was in the Hattie Jakes documentary on BBC 4 and BBC 2 with Ruth Jones, and he was playing Eric Sykes, and he said a lot of his scenes got cut, which was a shame really, because Eric was a big part of Hattie's life, and Graham's a great actor. But yeah, I really enjoyed the show, and it was so funny. And I was sat next to a woman who it was an absolute hysterics for the whole thing. Before he even said anything, she was just like, it's going to be funny. And I was front row, and yeah, it was fantastic. Definitely recommend, if John Shuttleworth does any more tours, I would recommend going and see John Shuttleworth. Also, last night I went to see the Laughing Cheetah Comedy Club at the Hole in the Wall in Exeter, which is every second and last Tuesday of the month. 9 p.m. start. It's about £3 entry, which is very cheap. And you can follow them on Twitter, which is just at Laughing Cheetah. And basically it's 4 stand-ups and a compere, so 5 really. And the compare's great, and I've seen him before actually at the Bike Shed Theatre in Exeter. Very funny guy, quite a young guy, but very funny. And I've met him a few times. And there were 4 acts, and most of them seemed to be from Birmingham, which was quite strange. There was one lady from Cornwall who was quite funny. I think for £3 it was worth going to see, and it was very packed out in the Hole in the Wall. I would recommend going to see that. I personally, I'm quite a critic, being a comedy writer, an actor. I'm quite a critic of stand-ups, I think, because I'm not a big stand-up fan. So I found it amusing, but I wasn't hilarious. There were times where some nice jokes, but all in all, it was a bit I want to say student-y, but I'm a student. I'm anti-student. But no, it was a bit. It was not quite what I thought. But for £3, it's worth seeing, and the compere is very good, and he's a regular there. So there's different acts every week from all around the country. And I recommend going and see that. I think they do some stuff at the Barnfield. I'm not quite sure, but yes, go and see that. A couple more theatre things, and then I'll play a song, which will be from Cabaret. The Octagon Theatre, I think I pronounced that right, in Yeovil. They've got a few shows coming up soon. One It's called Emission 1 Shilling, which is on Thursday the 8th of September, which is interesting to me because it stars Patricia Routledge, who some people might know from Keeping Up Appearances, the BBC sitcom. You know Patricia Routledge?
Yes.
Arts and Bouquet. She does lots of other stuff, Stepped Inside and all sorts, and a wonderful actress, and she's 82, and she's still touring, and she's still performing, and I do want to see her, so I'm going to see that myself. Box office number is 01395 422 884, and I think with the plug I should get a free ticket. I'm just putting that out there.
If they're listening.
Yeah, if they're listening, I'll send it to them. Viacom from Cabaret, Alan Cummins' version, which is a much better version, to be quite frank. The movie's good. Have you ever seen the movie?
I haven't.
With
No.
Liza Minnelli and Joel Grey. Good movie. But the American Broadway version is much better. They improved it, added a few songs, and Alan Cummins plays a great MC. Just brought back a lot of fond memories from the show. It was only about a month ago, and look at me. But yeah, I love to do that show again, definitely. I found great fun doing it. It was a great cast and a lovely director, who I'm now creeping around to get into more shows. And no, it was a great time. I really enjoyed doing that. It just brought back all those horrible memories of the dance, though. Very horrible. I'm watching the show, actually. They've got a DVD copy of the show we were in, I was in, and watching it on Friday with a few friends, so that'd be quite fun. Anyway, so, go on to... what are we going on to now, Matt? I'm hitting pens. More theatre, or should I just play a song? Should we play the song?
You can play the song.
Should I intro that? I'll talk about the song, actually, because the next song I'm going to play, and then we're going to move on to original content in a minute. Which is
well-planned stuff.
It is well-planned stuff. Which is going to be an episode of The Spice of Life, which is a sitcom comedy monologue starring myself and written by a few writers, including myself. And there's also a Matter of Principle, which is a monologue with a character called Clive Dunderhill, who I play. And also going to play Back to Class, a radio sitcom, which is the first episode of a series of 6, which is going to be on our one-off slot. We're going to do one-offs every week of things I've been involved with or wrote or directed. Yeah. And this is one of the one-offs, which will be made into a series later on in the year. But it's great. I'm just smiling thinking about it. It's my own comedy, I know, but I do absolutely love that episode. I love all the things, I mean. But yes, the next song I want to play is actually called Comedy Tonight. It's from A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, which is a musical, which is a very funny musical. And I saw the film not that long ago, and it starred Zero Monstro and Buster Keaton and Phil Silvers. Forgot his name then. And a great film, really enjoyed it. And the musical, I know the musical quite well because I'm a massive Frankie Howerd fan, the comedian. And he played the main character a few times in the West End show, and he also redid it in the 80s as well. And it's the main song, it's the intro song to the show. And it's a very long song, but it's a great song. It's called Comedy Tonight, and it's a nice intro to my stuff coming up, which is going to be comedy in the... Comedy Tonight from A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Forum, a great musical that I want to be in one day. So if any directors are out there, cast me in the role of the slave. I'm desperate, Matt. Okay, I'm desperate.
I know you've even asked me for a part on radio before.
Yes, well, that's interesting because we're going to lead into that in a second. Before we talk about, we're going to talk about the last hour. It's going to be original content. We're going to talk about our projects. We're very busy guys, and we're on to lots of things. We're going to talk about Matt's stuff, and we're going to talk about my stuff and play a few of my stuff. But first of all, we've got a tweet from the Laughing Cheetah guy, Chris, I can't remember his second name, sorry, Chris, who I said was a very funny guy, and he is. He was listening to the show at the moment. He's very funny guy, and I would recommend seeing him. I don't know if he remembers, but we met at the bike shed, I think. I went with a friend of mine, and, sorry?
Nothing, carry on.
Wait, why are you interrupting me again?
No,
Stop interrupting me.
I bet he whispered.
Okay, don't do it. I recognised it. So, we met at the... Matt, stop.
Why are you doing it at that time?
We met at the bike shed and after one of his shows and talked for a little while, and a very funny guy, and recommend going and see him and the Laughing Cheetah Comedy Club, which is every second Tuesday, I think, and it's £3. It's very good, and he's especially good. So, yeah, Matt, now, you're a busy guy, I'm a busy guy.
We're both busy
Can
guys.
we slightly allude to a project we're involved with, but not going to say anything about because we're not allowed to? Can we just do this because we're going to show off a little bit now, aren't we?
Yes.
We're both involved in a very big project.
Yes, although my part isn't fully confirmed yet, I'm still waiting
No.
for confirmation. And if they don't hurry up, I'm going to be rather worried about it.
Okay, but it's a very big project,
It's very big.
and we went to an audition together.
Yes.
We had to travel quite a long way. We
Yes.
can say we went to Cornwall, but I'm not going to say where.
Where exactly? Not to the exact
Oh,
building.
this is good. No,
They'll
we're not
figure it out.
honestly being like this on purpose. We can't honestly say because we've actually signed a disclaimer.
Yes, the contract said we could.
We actually have, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very big, and we're both really excited about it. It's
Definitely.
great.
It is,
and,
yes.
This is really difficult to talk about because we're not allowed to say any details, but I went for a costume fit the other day for it, and it was really exciting. And Matt's going for one hopefully quite soon.
Yes. Fingers crossed
Yes.
on that one.
And we might be in different scenes.
Yes, that could be interesting.
Hmm.
But there we go. That happens.
But when we find out if we're allowed to talk about it, we will talk about it in very great detail.
Definitely, yes. But on that note of being in the same project, we also did our very first project together last weekend. We were both playing the solicitors.
Yeah, so we acted together the first time. That
Yes.
was great fun.
So that was really good.
Yeah, we did a sketch for Sam and Dave, who are a comedy duo. I actually did a show on Soundart. I've been doing one for a long time now, every fortnightly. And they're making a new show, a live show in November, and I've worked with them a lot. Great guys. I'm hoping to have them on the show, actually, at some point.
Yes.
And basically, we're recording some sketches for their live show. They do a mixture of live sketches with them two and pre-recorded videos they play in between. And me and Matt were in a sketch together, and we're going to do some more this Saturday.
Yep, I believe 3 or 4 new sketches this Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm doing some stuff on Sunday as well, I think, so it's all go.
Oh, very
and
good.
I think the week after, and it's all go. But it's very exciting, and yeah, we played solicitors, didn't we, Matt?
Yeah, we did
And
indeed.
we had to argue and be on opposite sides.
Yes.
And it got a bit camp at the end.
It did.
We got very friendly, that's all I'm saying. For comedy purposes only, obviously.
I still remember my lines. Do you remember yours?
I don't actually.
Oh, dear.
I've told you, I'm like this with scripts. I literally, it's like, I learn it on the train or wherever, and then I just dispose of it.
It's gone. Well, that's a good way.
Although I've got, well, not really if you're doing a play, because I'm learning a play at the
That's
moment.
true.
That's the problem. I'm learning a play at the moment, so I've got that in my head, and I don't want anything else to. So I learn if I'm learning a commercial or a sketch, I learn it very quickly, and then try to dispose of it because I don't want it to get into
Yeah, it's true.
the play. But no, I don't remember. Do you remember your line?
I do. I don't want to say it because there's one word I keep getting mixed up, so I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But
and I'll just
I
say
do
that-
remember it.
I'll just say that, one of us did it in one take, one of us did it in 2 takes, but you can guess who that was. Anyway, so professional, you've worked out who the professional one is on this show, and you worked out who isn't.
Well, me, obviously.
Well, yeah, we differ, but Right, what are we on about? We're on about you, aren't we?
That being said, though, I did get to say my lines over and over and over and over and over again, but not on my fault, because I kept on leading the next scene, I guess, next scene
very
in.
important you were.
So that was really good. That was very lucky. My short line kind of turned into a bit of a feature film type,
Yeah.
And so that was quite
Spin-off,
good.
spin-off.
Yes.
The solicitors. But we are working on a project together at some point, aren't we? Because I asked you on the radio. I say I asked you. I sort of harassed you on the radio.
Yes.
A while ago, because we haven't known each other long, have we?
We haven't, no. I met you at the auditions for They Are Coming.
Which is a feature film.
It's a feature film.
Feature
Oh,
film
yes.
that we both auditioned for.
Yes.
And we met there, and we got on, and we were invited on to a radio show with a friend of ours called James Cord, who's going to be a guest on the 3rd week of the show, play some of his sketches, and we were invited on to Riviera FM, which is in Torquay.
Yep.
John Tompkins and Sean Wilson, if I get that right, and they do a movie show.
Yep.
Which we've ripped off. Well, come on. No, we haven't. We've got a few different things.
It's a bit different.
Slightly different, yeah, but...
And again, it's opinions.
Yeah, it's opinions. I know, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's all
Matt,
different.
I'm joking, Matt. And John's not bitter, hopefully.
We'll soon find out, I
We'll
guess.
soon find out when we get past. But we went on his show and we got along really well. And you were talking about your project, which you're going to talk about a little bit now. Which is
Which
your
one?
Your film thing that I'm in.
The one that you're in.
Only because that's the key thing about
because
it.
you're in
the
it.
main thing is I'm in it, and then there's something to do with plot. I don't know, but I'm in it. So
I think you're going to probably be in both, to be honest.
of course. I've checked my diary.
I actually think I know which character I want you to play in
Okay. Oh, you haven't told me this before. This is revealing this on air.
This is new news.
Are we doing all our dealings on air now? Is this what we do?
It could be a good idea. It's the best way.
Well, then it's recorded, and then you can't go back on it.
That's true. It's like a contract.
So don't offer me something big and then take it back because this is going to be recorded.
Okay, I'll offer you something rubbish.
Don't do that. Either. But anyway, you talk about your film,
Okay.
and I offered myself a part. But you tell us about the film, 'cause it is a really interesting idea. All your projects are, actually. You're way more interesting than mine.
Oh, thank you very much.
Mine are just me in it, written by me and directed by me. Sound of interview on me, but go on.
I've recently done a write-up for the film that I'm making myself. There's two. One I'm writing and making and acting and editing all the whole shadam. The second one is a project of my friend's that I helped come up with the outline and general idea of the film, and he went and wrote the script.
That's the film noir one, isn't it?
That's the film noir one, yes. But he's having a few difficulties with the script, and I'm going to be helping him and do a lot more hands-on work with actually writing that. So it's going to be a joint project now. Don't know when that one's going to be made. I think that one's going to be made before my one, because my one has got a lot bigger than what it originally was supposed to be. It was originally going to be a 30-minute kind of short feature type film, but because of the amount of content we have, it's going to be about an hour and 20 minutes, hopefully, depending on how we go about making it. Okay. We have got the outline and the script long enough to do that sort of film, but it's the kind of the budgeting and financial part of it.
Okay.
So we are working on that, but this is going to be one of 6 films. It is going to be a 6-film series. So far, we have the storyline for the first 3 films.
Okay.
We know how we're going to end the final 6th film, but we don't know what's going to happen in films 4, 5, or 6 yet, apart from the ending. But the basic outline of it is called, at the moment, it's called The Legend. That name might stick. Basically, it's about an untrained warrior that will rise. All right, and take on, it's kind of good and evil, you've got good, you've got evil.
Yeah.
An untrained warrior will rise, and he's the one that is part of the legend. He's the one that will stop bad, presumably.
Okay.
And the legend states that he wields a black blade, a dark blade. He's known as a dark warrior.
Okay.
So I'll leave you with that.
Really?
So,
That was, honestly, that's something really interesting. That's why I was like, oh, what should I say to that?
But yes, I think I may have actually, I can't remember if I told you or not, but yes, like I said, it's good and evil, but it's got a lot of twists and a lot of differences.
Yeah, you said about some of the twists.
I think I did mention it.
I'm not going to say, I was about to say, you don't want me to say, but
No.
I remember the ones you mentioned.
Yes, so it does change a lot from your conventional good versus evil
Yeah,
films.
it's very interesting, yeah. Great.
And there we go.
Great. And, I'm involved with a play at the moment called... it's a double bill. It's called The Royal Hangover, which is for the Coffee House Players, which are going to be our guests next week. And you can find out more about them on www.coffee... what's it? What's that one of those little lines when you got a little...
Dash.
A little line. I'm technical.
A little line.
Coffee... www.coffee-house-players.org.uk.
Little line.
Shut up. And the play is called The Royal Hangover. There's 2 plays, Lipstick and Knickers and Red, White and Hullabaloo, which is the play I'm in. Playing a character called Baker David, who's a Courtney, isn't he? And it's great. I'm really enjoying it, and there's a lovely bunch of people. And got rehearsals tomorrow, so that's why I'm saying it. And yes, I know the time. Don't look at me like that.
I wasn't looking at you. I was
He's
making sure we
yabbing
don't run
about
out of
himself
time.
and theatre again, isn't he? So
No, it's pretty fun. Just making sure we don't run out of time.
yes, I'm not going to. Thank you, dear. God, it's like a bloody married couple already. We've only done one show. Yes. When I know more about the dates of when we're performing, I'll let everyone know so they can book their tickets. But it'll be a great show. It's a great.
And that was Infinite White from Transformers, and that is the last song I'm going to play tonight. The rest of the content is now down to you, James.
Well, yeah, you're going to talk. He's not just going to be...
Oh, yeah, I'm not
because people will just tune out if you say that. Because I think he's going to go on about Evita again. I'm not. Honestly. It's a great show, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Well, you just kind of slipped it in there, a little bit of a mention, even though...
I know, I just did it on purpose.
That's a good
It
strategy.
is a great movie. I probably won't review it, but it is actually an interesting adaptation of a musical. I don't know if that interests anyone, but it is. Because some musicals are terrible to adapt into a film.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about me again. So, yes, this is the first of the original content stuff, which is going to be called The Spice of Life. And it stars me as Jeremy Spicer, a character that I created about 2 years ago for a project with a production company up in London, and 2 writers who write for the BBC, very, very nice chaps. This project's been going on for a long time. And I did a demo pilot, I filmed it at the Phoenix next to 2 years ago called The Life and Times of Jeremy Spicer, which is online to watch still. And I've been working on this radio series now for about a year and a half, writing it with a team of 4 or 5 people. And this episode 1, is called The Placement, and it's written by Andrew Flatterly. Flatterly, I think it is. Sorry, Andrew. You know, I'm not good with second names. And script edited by myself and Joshua Merritt. And other episodes were written by myself, Andrew, and Tim Azure, which is quite a nice name, isn't it? But yes, this is the first episode of a 6-part series. We're going to play this every week, a different episode every week. And I play Jeremy Spicer, who's a media student who's on a radio station, a low-down radio station, who wants to be the big time and who's got a bit of an ego problem. And it took a lot of acting for me to play this. So here's episode 1 of The Spicer Life. That was from the Doctor Strangelove soundtrack, one of my favourite films of all time, with the great Peter Sellers. Now I'm going to play a sitcom, another sitcom, which is a one-off. We are doing 6, we're doing a series of 6, but we haven't made it yet. We did a demo pilot back in 2009, television pilot, and we've also written a 30-minute script, which is sending off to producers. It's called Back to Class. It stars myself and Dan Pearce. We also wrote the script. And this is the first radio episode, which we released in March online, so about 1,300 people listened to it for Comic Relief, and we raised well over £100 for Comic Relief for every listen. And it's called Back to Class, Money, Money, Money. Here it goes. Pink Panther theme tune there. One of the most iconic, I think, soundtracks, isn't it? You know, it's such a great. We were humming along, we were. Right. Oh yes. So the film quiz, which was practically ruined by Matt earlier.
Wasn't my fault.
A little bit by me, but the film quiz was guess the tagline. We're going to do this every week, and the tagline was the man in the hat is back. The man in the hat is back, and it was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, 1984. Now Pete Butler guessed it. Lots of Indiana Jones films, but he didn't guess the right one. And it was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. We'll do one of these next week when Matt doesn't ruin it.
Yeah,
Matt,
I promise not to ruin it.
You've got some stuff you want to do. It's over to you now. It's all you.
I have indeed. Today is a very special day for both my parents. Ooh. So today is my mum's 50th. She probably doesn't like me saying
what's her name?
Claire.
Happy birthday, Claire.
And my dad is 56 as well.
On the same day?
On the same day.
My God.
6 years apart, but same day. His name is Dennis.
Dennis.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Claire and Dennis.
There you go. So it's their birthday. They're out having a meal at the moment, the rest of my family.
So not listening to the show?
No, they are right now, I think. If not, then, you know.
We take back the congratulations. You know.
But no, they've been listening to as much as they can,
good,
but unfortunately the first show was booked on their birthday, so I couldn't get a meal on them. But
I feel bad.
There we go. Oh, I don't.
Oh, that's good.
No, it's fine. I'm sure they had fun without me, so...
Probably much more fun, to be quite frank.
I thought I should... I'll be Charlie. I thought I would, mention their names and say happy birthday on the radio.
Isn't that nice?
Yes, exactly.
What a lovely son you are.
Big 5-0 downhill from here. But to wrap up with, we've got a few more minutes left over, and so I thought we should play a game.
Oh, God.
Do you want to play a game?
Not really, but go on then.
It's quite simple. It's called Questions Only.
Okay.
You're only allowed to answer in questions.
Okay.
Okay. Let's give it a go.
I'm not very good at these games.
Let's see how long we can last. We got, 3 minutes?
30 seconds. Here we go. Go on.
Okay. Hello, James. How are you?
I failed already. What am I supposed to...
Questions only.
I'm fine. How are you?
Why do you ask?
Because I was just wondering.
What's that on your face?
What's that on your face?
Why are you copying me?
I'm not copying you. Why are you asking these questions? I'm not very good at this. Please make it stop. Please make it stop.
You said 2 statements already.
I know, because I don't know what I'm doing. We do these things in rehearsal. We do, like, improv games. I'm rubbish. I really am rubbish. I'm supposedly meant to be an improv comedian, but I don't know any bloody improv. In character, but I can do it myself. Go on, we're carrying on with this, have I ruined it?
Well, why not?
You ruined my film tag quiz game.
Oh, is this revenge? Is it payback?
I'm deliberately sabotaging this feature.
All right, I see how it works.
This feature's not coming back next week, by the way. It's been scrapped.
Yeah, exactly.
Before it started.
But no, anyway, it's been a really good show.
Yeah, it has. No, honestly, I genuinely have enjoyed it. Really been fun, and it's gone really quickly, actually.
It's been really good. Big thank you to Pete, who's been sending us the
Tweets.
The tweets, that's the one. I couldn't think of the word
And
there.
Chris from The Laughing Cheetah.
Yeah, Chris as well.
Very good comedian.
Brother sent me a message saying they are listening. Don't take back the congratulations.
Oh, sorry.
So,
all right. Calm
they are
down. They're on
tuned in.
it, quick.
But yes, we'll be here again next week on
Yes.
Soundart Radio.
102.5
That's the
FM.
one.
I'm professional, he's not.
I was going to say 105.2 then. But,
You're wrong.
That's why I paused a bit before.
You can also listen online as well, www.soundhot.org.uk.
You can. This will also be available as a podcast, so you can listen to us again and again and again, just in case you want to. And, that's about it. We'll be here again at 6 o'clock next Wednesday. So this is me and James signing off for the night. Now we've got to travel back to Exeter.
Yes.
and
Good
get
night,
some food.
everyone, and hope you enjoy your rest of the evening.